Everybody, how's it going? Welcome aboard. How are we all? Let us begin with the usual stuff of scrolling through a million messages. Candy Overalls. Lovely to see you again. Mr. Ward, how are you? Sir Prawn a lot. Perth Cichlids. Jace, how are you? Oops. I better turn some volume down before we get some echoes. We don't want too many echo bizzos happening. How you going, Jace? Guitars may make an appearance later in the show. So Prawn a lot lemonade today. Lemonade's always good. Joe Munoz, Mr. Munoz, how are you today? Thirsty? He might be off lunch break now. I'm back in school. Chewy, how you going, Chewy? Valley Fish, new face. How are you today, sir? Thanks for popping in. Pamela, welcome in, Pam. Random fluff across my keys. Bob Kayla. Hello, Bob. How are you today? C23, my brother. How are you today? Cichlids 23. And I may have got everyone already. That'd be a rarity. Got all the names out the way in the first few minutes. Ty Hunsiker, how are you, man? Great to see you in again. It's good to see all these faces returning for more. Dan Slee, still loving all your photos on the Insta, Dan. Nice work. Rob Bull, fellow Australian. How are you, Rob? Great to see you put your first video up on YouTube, mate. That was very good. Many more to come, I hope. Anyone not familiar with Rob Bull? Another Australian, knowledgeable cat. He's been around, obviously, in the hobby for a while, but he's only just started his YouTube career. Check him out. Have a bit of a look and encourage him to put out some quality content for us all to peruse, absorb, and soak up. We can soak it up, I suppose. I wasn't that late, was I, Rob? Big D. How are you, Big D? I don't know if Big D's been in one of my streams before. I can't remember everyone who's popped in, but thanks for popping in, Big D. I see you floating around a lot of the other streams. Why not come to mine as well? Everyone else does. I said I was scrolling through and I was getting there, but now I'm still scrolling. Scrolling. Jess Shrimp Granny, how are you? Thanks for popping in again, Jess. Always good to see your face in here. And I made it to the bottom. And when you get to the bottom, you bust open your bevy. Cheers, everyone. I'm having a beer. Strange for me, but you know, we saw what happened last time when I had too much wild turkey before the afternoon even middled. Hey, Night Girl's in again. Oh, that's a bummer to hear, love. I hope you get that sorted. Don't resort to opiates. Science says opiates actually make the pain worse. They confuse your nerves, and in the long run, you're better off without them. Fishy Biz, how are you, brother? Thanks for stopping in. This is what's cracking. I just cracked it only just then and had one mouthful out of it. What's cracking in your world, bro? Missed anyone else? Excuse me, everybody. Don't think I missed anything. If I missed anyone and you feel left out, put it in the comments and I'll make you not feel left out anymore, hopefully. Coffee at this hour, Pam. You'll weigh the bed. Got him. This one, Joe. This one is leaded. It is 4.4% lead and 99% sugar-free. And, hang on, where's that? 30% less carbs than regular beer. So yeah, it's got like 3 grams less carbs than another one. Hey, Fish Freak. Welcome in, bro. I did when I put this post up on the King and Queen Cichlids Facebook page, I have encouraged the viewers to take a photograph of yourself with your beverage and post it in the comments there. Just, a little bit of extracurricular activity for the stream. Can't hurt. Yeah, that's that 30% less carbs. We did the maths the other day and worked it out that it's just a gimmick. Just a gimmick. That 30% makes bugger all difference because this one has, what was it, 5.6 grams of carbs. So if it's 30% difference, then we go 1.3 times 5.6, which is, probably 7 to 8 grams of carbs in a normal beer. It's not a bad tasting beer, actually, Chewy. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of beers. There's a couple that I really do enjoy, but this one goes all right. Probably goes down a little bit too quick, actually, and makes me burp a little bit too. I agree, Fishy Biz, but I had to share the purchase of the box of beer with Scungy, and she's even more fussy than I am on beer flavors, so we had to buy one that we could, both enjoy. G'day, Caleb. So I watched his video with his it was a crested gecko, wasn't it, on Bob Steenfot's channel? He is so into that lizard. That's fantastic. That fizzy drink bottle there, he's asking, Sepron a lot. That is my old, it's not that old, but it's my CO2 rig. When this was a heavily planted tank, I experimented with the CO2, but those DIY kits I found are a little bit inconsistent for production of CO2. And if you've got any experience with using CO2 at all, consistency is key. You want to have very regular production and very regular input of CO2 going into the tank. And the that little system, you can't really keep it pumping out consistently for more than a couple of days without giving it a shake and another squeeze and fiddling with your mix and whatnot. So essentially I just stopped using it, and the plants that didn't need CO2 went nuts anyway. If you've seen previous videos on that tank, it was very, very, very chockers with the plants. But how did I get onto that? Sorry, I digressed. I was talking about Caleb's little gecko. Hi back to you, Caleb. I hope you're having a very nice evening, if he's still awake. really dig that gecko tank. It looks fantastic though. You guys did awesome work on that background. It looks so natural. And the way he's talking about it, the plants and stuff in there as well. That kid's got knowledge already. Future of the hobby right there. It's great to see the kids getting into it. I think you're right, Rob. I think the best CO2 comes from, creatures that are just breathing in the water. And I mean, that probably helped the plants as well, that I had a bajillion red cherry shrimp in that tank. Fishy Biz, I don't have any underway at the moment. I've got one of my filter builds sitting over there on a table ready to be pulled apart so I can do it. I probably should have done a little bit of filming last night because I had a little bit of an issue with one of my DIY filters that runs on my Rivulatus tank. Rivulatus now has a tank mate as well. Stay tuned for that. We might go through it at some stage on here anyway. Whilst I was in the house eating dinner last night, something, I don't know what, something restricted the flow in my, because the filter that I'm talking about basically pumps water in, the pump is in the fish tank, pumps water up into the filter, and then gravity does the rest. It overflows out of the filter back into the tank. So it's like it's a combination between a canister filter and an overhead sump sort of thing. See you, night girl. Thanks for stopping in. Toodaloo. So yeah, something was restricting the outflow of the filter in my Riv tank, and the lids are not sealed on them for easy access. They're not a watertight seal, and I had water piddling out of the lid, out of the gaps in the lid, all over the cabinet that the tank sits on, and all over the floor, and also into the cabinet, into the little drawer that houses the timer and the timer for the lights and all the power plugs for the lights. So I had those power plugs sitting in about 2 or 3 mil of water, so I wasn't really game to touch them. So anyway, I have to potentially investigate a mod for that filter so that water can still flow out, but minimal obstructions. Was a bit frightful, and part of the issue I'm going to have with it is that the stands that fish tank sits on are old poker machine stands, or slot machines, you kids might call them, and they're predominantly made of MDF or particle board, and there's already a little bit of swelling in there, so I might have some structural integrity issues based on the amount of water that came out of that filter last night. But thankfully I discovered it when I did, and not this morning after the whole tank had drained. Skookum Chuck Reefer in the house. How are you, man? Fish Freak, what are you saying here? Send me your address and stuff. If you can, got some CDs that are signed for you. I am intrigued, Fish Freak. I will do that. Hi there. Yeah. I'm still pondering the design modification that I might make to the filter that leaked last night. I've got a pretty decent idea of what I'll do with it. But I've just got to get around to doing it, I guess. Now, I did miss a question up here about how many gallons are the tubs? I don't know. they're just a standard human-sized bathtub, or do you mean the blue tubs themselves? I'll pass that on shortly, Bob. Yeah, I'm not sure about the blue tubs either. Plus, I don't measure in gallons. I'm metric system. We do litres, which is a gallon is 3.83 litres, is it? Is that what a bathtub is, Bob? 67.3 gallons, roughly. Approximate numbers only. Yeah, well, hopefully that's what Bob's saying. That we better rewind. Pam's got a coffee now. Back to the start, everyone. Hang on, I'll scroll back up and start saying hi to everyone again. Bob Kayla says hi, Sarah. Hi. Sarah just got here, everybody. Everybody say hi. She likes it when people say hi. Yeah, I think your maths is a little bit askew there, Ty. Just a tiny wee bit askew. I do have one of my other bathtubs that I have set up down where my sons live is slightly larger, but the one that I have here and one of the other ones down there are the same size, which I'm guessing is about what Bob said, about 67, 68 gallons. All right, let's go back through this. Ty says hello to Sarah. Candy Overalls says hi, Sarah. Dan Slee waves at Scunge. Cichlids 23 says hello, Sarah. Punchy says hey, Sarah. So Prawn a lot says howdy. Skookum Chunk. No, he's giggling at Punchy. So Prawn a lot. What's that? Just say hi to all the people. Yeah, Sarah says hi back, everyone. And thanks, Jace. Thanks for picking up that. Jace is now my official answerer of questions that I don't get to. There is no H at the end of it. Sarah has just graciously rocked in and poured us a couple of the world famous turkey sodas. Joe Munoz and Jess Shrimp Granny also say hi. We've got quite the crowd in tonight. 16 now. There was quite a few earlier. I think we've had a couple ghost out. So I got a bit of a beef with that, you know. If people are going to ghost out, just say bye. Or were people saying bye and I missed it? I know Night Girl said goodbye and she went. But, you know, I don't mind you leaving. Just say goodbye. Yeah, have a sip of this one, Pam. How's that? Like I'm a big fan of you know, if you're at a party and you want to just go without saying goodbye to 75 people, sure, ghost a party, no worries at all. But you know, you're on a live stream, just chat, see ya. So anyway, that's pet hates out of the way now. I mean, it's not a hate. Let's call it a pet dislike instead. Because, you know, hate's terrible, terrible thing to feel. But dislike, you can dislike as much as you like. Anyway, what was I talking about? I'm talking about drinks and fish tanks and filters and stuff. Oh, Passion for Pets is in. G'day, P4P. Charge your glasses and say cheers to Passions for Pets. Passion for Pets. Too many S's in that, love. I'll just stick with P4P. How was Sarah's day? Candy Overalls would like to know.
It's been great. I've been drawing.
Sarah has just returned from every Wednesday. She does a life drawing, as in where you get a human model with no clothes on, and they take inspiration from the nude model and go nuts. Drawing. So generally, Scungy will come back smiling and beaming because she's had an awesome time drawing, and sometimes we share the artwork on the stream. Crikey, that beer's making me burpy. Jace, the cricket was great. Very good. Everyone should be watching more cricket, especially Test cricket, because everyone should be able to find 5 days of your life to devote to a single game of sport. Not many sports on the planet go for 5 days, but Test cricket does, and it's great. Now, can I just get, for some reason, these things straight through? Just talk amongst yourselves for a minute.
What's that?
I did, Ty. I did indeed. The one I cracked at the beginning was number 3. An early start today. Very early start, actually. I was up at 4:30 this morning. My father is actually in hospital as we speak, having his knee rebuilt. Shelby Ray, how are you? Welcome aboard, love. Very good to see you in. Did I miss anyone while I was gone? Has anyone else popped in? I'm not sure what nail I hit on the head, Rob. I'm sure you could make it a sport somehow. There was 2 comments about me breaking the seal. Yeah, well, on water change day, you can certainly make it a sport, isn't it? Olympic water changes. Fantastic idea. Make it so. Well, I mean, they're doing, what, 3-on-3 basketball in the next Olympics or something, can't they? Can't see if they're going to do that. Why not do Olympic water changes? Hello, Monica Lynn. How are you today or tonight? Your times. Thanks, Candy. I'll let him know when I see him. I'm probably going up to see him when later on this afternoon when we get the call that he's out of surgery, but he will be fairly munted for most of the afternoon, anaesthetic and all that. It's the third time Third time he's had the same knee done. Has not gone well. The first 2 times, but new surgeon. Hopefully someone who does the job a bit better for his sake. For my dad's sake, I mean. Not a lot of difference at all, that's right. Yeah, don't forget to not to toot my own trumpet, but hit the like if you like it. Share it out if you got the time or the wherewithal to do such things. We don't mind a little bit of sharing. Sure did, Skook. Missed you like a hole in the back of my legs, whatever that means. So, I probably should have come prepared with a topic like most people do for live chats. I'll just talk about my own stuff then. The tank behind me, which is the best spot to show it. Not very many best spots at the moment with the amount of glare, but I don't know if you can see or not, but the transformation has begun in this tank. I've pulled most of the hardscape out of it, apart from this log, because that log doesn't fit out without taking the hood off the tank. I have retrieved my gibiceps. These are about 10.5, nearly 11 inches long. He's now in here, as is my small feste. Only a wee, let's say maybe, what's that space, about 3.5 inches long, still very timid. I mean, festes are quite hidey cichlids as it is, but he'll come good. But yeah, I got Gibbo back. If you remember from you probably don't remember because not a lot of you have been around since way back when, back in the day, but my first half a dozen videos were primarily just on my gibiceps and my rivulatus. My gibby went for a long stay with my son in his big 6-foot tank. That tank's not doing very well, so I wanted to get my gibiceps back before he came to some kind of doom and gloom. So he's now living in this tank. I can't actually see him, so he's probably behind the log, being a bit hidey, but they both are at the moment. There's still potentially 200 or 300 red cherry shrimp in there, but the feste is eating some of them. I've pulled hundreds and hundreds out and spread them across 3 different fish tanks and lots of bristlenose out. Hey, Calypso, how are you, bro? Thanks for popping in. Good to see you. So yeah, that's I'm experimenting with leaving some plants in there too to see how long they last with a large American cichlid in there. Oh, look, there's the feste there. Anyone see that? Nah, no one can see that. All I can see is glare, but it's fun to point at glary things. I was trying to work out what that fish was. It was a glass being lifted and put back down. It looked like a fish swimming in the tank. I think everyone wanted her hair back in the 70s and 80s, didn't they, Shelby? Let me pop that up. I don't know about harder. I don't think they've always been very common. I've seen them in the last 2 fish shops I've gone into. I have seen them, but like only 1 or 2 in each shop. And I did see Calypso. No good, man. Commiserations. Never good to have a death in the family. I was on a page today too, the New South Wales Cichlid Association, based down in Sydney, and they had a few listings of Feste in their raffle that they're having at their big meeting coming up. Wait, Susie Q's popped in, snuck in without me noticing somewhere, but people are saying hi. There she is. How are you, Susie? Lovely to see you aboard. Always good. It's great to have all you people in here. Really appreciate you stopping in. I'm humbled by your presences. And if you want to send me presents, I'll take your presents too. Appreciate everybody's presents and presents. Alrighto, Jess Shrimp Granny, you got to go. It's not like you. Don't forget to take a photo of you and your beverage and post it on King and Queen's Cichlids Facebook page. Then we can run with that theme of beverages. I'm going to have to put this one up now too, aren't I? That's Dan. That is always, whoops. Chat rolls on. It's always my favourite present. Daytime partier, just Shrimp Granny. She's going to get known. She's going to get a rep for being a daytime partier. But yeah, Dan Slay, you can send me a bottle of wild turkey any day of the week. You know it'll go to a good home. Just in there. And then out the other end. A live haircut. Does anyone else hate my hair at the moment? Scungy saying my hair's out of control. Potentially I should do a haircut on my live stream. I think it was just sort of hitting its straps. Do you want to just scissor off certain bits, or do you want to just buzz cut the lot? Neither. All right. Excuse me once again. Laid Back Ladies Day. Is that what you do on Laid Back Ladies Day, Jess? Or hit the LSD, go nuts. Slam some champagne. One moment. Can you come up here? Thank you. You've got a bloody tick, boy.
Can we get it?
Probably not without hurting him. And just oil it.
Oil's bad for him, lavender oil's bad for him.
I don't have lavender oil. Good boy. I've lost it. You sure you didn't get it?
Maybe.
I think you got it.
I dropped it so it can eat one of us later.
No, found it. Sorry, people. Live. Dan says Scun should definitely cut my hair live on the stream. Monica says my hair looks good.
I'm sorry, buddy.
Good boy. Good boy. Joe Munoz says I'm the Australian Elvis.
I can't get it. It's all up there. It keeps getting in the way.
Do you want tweezers?
Yeah.
Tweezers on my windowsill. Good boy. Good boy. Yeah, you're okay. We'll get it out of you, mate.
I'm sorry.
Righto, so prawn a lot. Thanks for stopping in, kiddo.
Don't hate me.
I'll see you soon,
Thank
man.
you, I'm doing you a kindness.
Monica says hi. Hi. Sorry, guys. I've just found a rather large tick on my dog, and we're doing probably what we shouldn't do and rip it out. He doesn't seem
You
too.
can't leave it on him though.
He doesn't seem too pissed off. I think he knows we're trying to help him. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah. It's a good boy. Oh. Oh. Good boy. Good boy.
Oh my gosh, it's so just stuck in there, honey. Oh my gosh. This is not a good story. I'm sorry, Shaky.
He's a good boy. Good boy.
Maybe your hands are stronger and you can keep gripping it. Because when I go in, I'm just losing it.
I got too much hair then. Can you give me some extra fingers of hair removal?
Oh, honey. No, but you can't let him keep it.
Well, I think that last pull I just sort of broke it considerably, and the last one left a hair on him. It was quite. Yeah. Yes, well, I may have to get back on that, Monica, because we generally don't worry too much about the flea and tick meds in the winter time, but ticks are always active. It doesn't matter what the weather's like. Burn it off. That's probably a good idea. Heat up a lighter and put it on the tick. Isn't the oil in the jar just almond oil, not lavender?
No, it's got a range of essential oils in it.
Hey, Sandra Bennett, how are you? I was sorry, I've missed so much of the chat focusing on the dog. But he's a good boy. He's a good boy. That's little Shaky. Shaky's a Jack Russell mini fox terrier cross. He's 3/4 Jack Russell and 1/4 miniature fox terrier. Oh, Candy says her parents used to always use a lit cigarette.
Or anything near heat will make them pop and they will die.
She said it makes them back out 1,000,000 years ago. I think that means like super quick. Yeah, Joe, that was quite a large tick. It's certainly bigger than the couple that I had on me last week. I had one on my neck here that messed up my neck for a few days. Hey, 44 Mag Guy, how are you, Derek? Good to see you in, bro. Had one on the my inner thigh, let's call it. That was quite annoying. Gave me a rather large lump. Not a euphemism. I was just being silly because of the inner thigh business.
What's on your inner?
Scrolling. Man, my body's swollen. Dan Slee says there were a match. Just put the match out against the butt of the tick. All good advice. I've heard the best thing is just scabies cream. if you've got scabies, or you can get some scabies cream, because scabies is apparently a mite, which is an arachnid, and are ticks not arachnids?
Well, they are. They're 8 legs.
Yeah, they're in the arachnid family. So apparently the scabies cream works on a genetic level and destroys them somehow.
Is it safe for the dog?
Well, he won't get scabies again. That's for sure.
That's the oil's good for people, but it can burn their skin.
Right. It's good to know. Anyhow, the dog's disappeared now. He's probably gone to look for food. And I'm covered in lots of little white hairs and the fragrance of dog.
I bet that lavender oil will get the scabies.
It'll give you scabies.
You'll get them.
Right. Apparently, lavender oil will get scabies as well, but it's no good for dogs. No lavender oil on your dogs.
I've tried that. I've not had the opportunity.
Yeah, well, that was my theory, Ty, because I have a jar of medicinal oil kind of stuff, and anything oily is good because, yeah, like you say, it restricts their breathing and they need to get out ASAP. So whenever I've got them on me, I just keep dosing that oil up onto the tick, and eventually they either die or they pull themselves out. But yeah, lucky Scungy was here to tell me that lavender is no good for dogs. Otherwise, I would have been putting that oil all over.
I have a special device, and it's like got.
I've seen those things.
Thing that you can get,
Yeah,
which is good for your pets.
yeah. I have seen those tick puller outerers. Pam says we should have chewed it off.
And I've got one too that's got like a little wire. You put the wire around it
And you pull it
tighten the
tight.
wire.
Yeah, I've seen those ones as well. They're very handy. Probably could have had a go at chewing it off if the dog didn't stink so bad. He's well overdue for a wash.
Also, but when ticks are in their new stage, they only have 6 legs and they only get 8 legs
When they're in their imago stage, yes. What was I going to say? Oh, Shaky's gone now, and we've both got cigarettes. We could have tried that method.
He's not going to come back here.
He probably won't. Lol, Bob Kayla. I'm sure she's got them both down pat, though. I reckon she's probably can chew a tick as good as she can chew her own toenails. I can chew my own toenails, believe it or not. But they're generally that gross that I don't want to touch them. Toenails are pretty rank. I can't believe anyone would want to put them in their mouth unless subject to a drunken dare. Can be the only reason I can think of. Huh? Oh yeah, babies. Yeah, I can remember doing that to my kids when they were wee tiny bands. It's better than trying to pick at them or slice them. You chew your baby's toenails. About my tank. What about my tank behind me, Monica? Did I miss a comment? Or are you about to talk about my tank behind me? I'm confuzzled. I haven't gone far enough back. I'm not reading enough comments. No, it's got a background on it. What are you talking about? It's got a large navy blue bed sheet hanging off the back of it. High tech work over here in Blacky's joint. Yeah, I contemplated doing that too because sometimes when if I have to take the hood off this tank because I have 2 4-foot LED battens or light rigs built into the hood. DIY, did it myself. So every time I have to take the hood off, I have to unplug the light plug, which is down in the bottom of the cabinet, pull it out, and then have to put it back in, which is a bit of a trickery. Because the sheet thing does get in the way. So I have contemplated in a minute. I have contemplated doing something different on the back, mainly thinking the paint idea. I have painted tanks black before, and that works well. My biggest problem is that it only has maybe 3 inches clearance from the wall, and it would be a bugger of a thing to move it just to paint it. G'day, Cody, son. How are you, mate? Welcome aboard. I've got all the tips coming in. Yeah, Rob Bull doesn't let up on me and my backgrounds. Even wanted me to put a background on my bathtub. Hot pin. Skook suggests heating up a pin with a lighter and putting that on the tick. That would work well as well. I should have. Oh no, we didn't know it at the time, did we? That Shaky had a tick, so we couldn't call it the stream with the ticks in it. Anyway, Monica Lynn, are you looking at the screen at the moment? Can we? Well, let's just show everyone, shall we? Not just Monica. If you want to show.
She wanted to say last time. I don't know if I don't know how to make it happen.
Hang on, I'll get that off the screen. Monica.
Oh, it is confusing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Colours look wrong from here.
Yeah.
That's the one with the arrowhead.
Would a white sheet? I don't think a white sheet would stop the reflection, Monica. I think it would just show a reflection of the white sheet. Candy says, beautiful Sarah. Dan Lee says, beautiful necklace. Bob Kaler says, ooh, that's nice. That sounds like lyrics to a song. Beautiful Sarah, beautiful necklace. Ooh, ooh, that's nice. Oh my gosh. Monica says, oh my gosh.
That's our special arrowhead.
Monica, that's your special arrowhead necklace. It has been built. It is complete, I believe. Christmas. No snow here at Christmas. Actually, in all of my how old am I again? 40 something, 40 and a bit. In all of my 40 something years, I've never seen snow. Never even touched it. Never rolled in it. Never thrown a snowball in my life. Some people missed it. They want to see it again.
Is that really?
I don't know. Derek just says he missed it, but you know.
He can go back if he's that desperate.
Yeah, you'll have to watch the replay, Derek. Watch the replay all over again just to find that necklace. Monica says thank you. She's so excited.
Got this one too, but I don't know. Well, not really worth it.
Well, you can show her as well. Does everyone want to look at Monica's other necklace as well that Scungy's building for her? I would like to see it. I mean, I do like the cold and stuff. It's just that location-wise, sometimes in winter it snows up on the Great Dividing Range, which is I can get to with about a 3-hour drive. but quite often, if it snows up there, it's not like a real massive lashing of snow. It's just like a minor dusting of snow. So yeah, it's really not worth the drive if you can't go up and roll a snowball and chuck it at someone.
They said they were making snow at Dreamworld, right? And my kids wanted to go. It happened to be a birthday. Went to Dreamworld for the snow, and they had ads with snow falling from the sky. Winter Wonderland at Dreamworld, right? Do you know what they had? A fucking tarp, right, with a bit of crushed up ice on it. They were like, build a snowman. We did. We built a little ice snowman with as much ice as we could gather. That's real cool.
All right, we're getting requests for your other necklace.
Was that the right way to do it, though?
Yep. Probably not as much light.
It's really hard.
I suppose
to,
it's hard to show that stone up.
It looks wrong when I look at it, but I don't know.
So that was the other one with I believe you requested matching earrings with that one, Monica. What is the brown stone?
It's Jasper.
Jasper. Punchy is the brownish stone.
And there's moonstone on
the green stone is moonstone. Oh no, moonstone up the strands. Right.
The green one is called chrysocolla.
Shelby Ray is correct. It was Jasper. What did you say the green one on the arrow one was?
Chrysocolla.
Chrysocolla was the green one. And what's the arrowhead made from?
Obsidian.
Obsidian. All you Minecraft fans out there. Hang on. Someone up here. How come Monica get them?
Because she asked for them.
And she asks for them and she's going to pay money for them. That's how. You too, Bob, could have necklaces if you transfer money. Buy now. Remit your checks. You too.
Would like to make Bob a necklace.
You too could receive unique jewelry crafted by hand in Australia, sent on an aeroplane or a boat to America. Probably aeroplane. Pam says she's found arrowheads made of jasper before, like
nice.
as in proper arrowheads that were used for killing, or jewelry arrowheads.
Arrowhead is hand knit.
Where is what, Bob? I miss so many stuff. Ah, right, yeah. Well, that happens to a lot of us, doesn't it, Bob? Our tanks get most of our money. Yeah, right. Real arrowheads, Pam says, made of jasper.
Nice.
I wonder how long they last.
Long, apparently.
Like, is it a hardy stone? Will it take a bit of knocking about and stuff?
Oh, how long it lasts?
Yeah, like how many kills can they make?
I guess it depends if you hit the bones or just hit the flesh. And stuff.
Sure.
Probably not like.
Pam says forever.
Well, not as many as if you have like metal arrowheads. As far as stones go.
Derek, you don't have to be a drag queen to wear fancy necklaces. Although I have been known to dress in ladies' clothes before. I have no shame.
To great success.
Many great successes. Pam says the prettiest one she found was a turquoise obsidian arrowhead.
Oh.
That would be very pretty.
Does anyone know how do like I wanted to learn how to do napping to make even just out of like any stones
to get your shapes.
to shape hand napping. I would like to do that.
Can everyone hear Scungy clear enough?
I'm trying to be quiet.
Yeah, but that makes it difficult if they can hear you and then I repeat your question. But if they can just hear you and I don't have to repeat your question. Pam, do you know how to do napping? Is that what it's called? Napping? So we can start making our own arrowheads.
I want to make like little dagger blades out of stone and make them little handles.
Ooh, interesting. Yeah, they're saying hard to hear you, so don't worry about being quiet. Talk louder. Righto, thanks for the feedback, guys. Scungy will shout from now on. Oh yeah, we don't necessarily want them to look authentic, Pam. Yeah, good luck, Candy. Good luck making that happen. I tried that last week and it failed dismally. Yeah, don't necessarily want them to look like Indigenous stuff, just interested in making trinkety stuff out of them, little daggers and stuff like that. Candy suggested that, that maybe I should have you sit in the camera with me and then you'd be closer to the microphone. And as I explained,
you
that
all
we
wouldn't
tried
like
that.
that.
We tried that last week, and Candy revealed that she was in fact making a jokey reference to last week. And I couldn't do, for some reason, won't let me add new moderators for some reason. But actually, no, I don't. I'd love to have Candy as a moderator, but she does so much moderator work. When you come here, Candy, you can just rest, just chill out. We won't make you a mod. I got mods for days, I think. What else is going on? Bob Kayla's got a new anemone. That was very, very cool watching the
Salt water to have an anemone.
It was very cool watching the clownfish the other day feed that thing. It's very cool. I like that. I'd actually had no idea that the clownfish fed them as well as lived in them. That was very informative. She won't push the camera over because it's built into this laptop. I've probably got more chance of pushing it over.
Does it have mostly salt waters or only?
No, our friend Bob Kayla has both salt and fresh water.
Do you keep starfish, Bob?
I'm not going to repeat that just to see if people could hear you. But I'm also going to give Bob, a minute to type an answer.
Maybe I've got to go and look at his channel.
He's got some cool stuff. He had a cool cold water, salt water tank, but I believe pulled that down. Yes, she said starfish. I mean, I kind of knew the answer, but I wanted you to answer it for her. Bob doesn't yet, but he plans to. Starfish can be problematic in a saltwater tank, can't they? If you don't have their tank mates appropriate and stuff. And isn't there? Yeah, that's what I was going to say. There's a pest starfish out there that people often get in their tanks, and there's like rental shrimps. You can go and rent rent the shrimps that predate on them to clear out your starfish infestation. Or, loan, rent, it's all the same, isn't it, really? Starfish are easy to starve to death. Is that what you're saying, Candy?
What do they eat?
They eat everything. Scungy wants to know what they eat. If, Bob, you can answer that. I've just got to go over there for a minute.
But if they're going to answer, I won't be able to see them. That's frightening.
Yes, Monica, Aquamate is working. I was speaking to him this morning. He's a busy boy. We've got questions. You've raised more questions than answers with your what starfish eat.
Okay.
Thanks, Candy. Thanks, Dan. It's what we do. It's what we do when we walk past the reflection area. There we go. Cody's son says large stars can be fed shrimp. I'm sure he meant fed shrimp. But I'm not the spelling police. I am not.
You kind of want to be, though, don't
I do.
you?
I am. I like, yeah. I am the spelling police. I am the grammar Nazi, but I try and ease up on that stuff sometimes. Pam says large starfish will eat coral as well. But it's a tentative speculation because she finishes with I think. But yeah, I think they're from what I know about starfish, I think they're opportunistic feeders. Pretty much if they stumble across something and they can grab it, they will try and stroll it to their mouth.
Who were we talking to that had the starfish that ate their fish? Remember that?
No.
I do, but I can't remember who it was.
Calypso's was in earlier. He would have been the guy to ask. There was a couple of saltwater fellas in earlier.
What about keeping like little rays? Like, are they going to be happy, and for how long could you keep them potentially in your tank?
Little rays.
Yeah, like well, obviously you're not going to keep big ones.
Well, there's no little rays.
Yeah, but when they're babies, that's what I mean.
Yeah, they get pretty big pretty quick.
But so is it like? Does that mean that it would be cruel to keep them for a period of their life? Yeah, because some people have got them in their tanks.
Yeah, I mean it's better if you're going to keep an animal like that, you need to have a plan for the future so you know where it's going to go. It's like if you get a dog that's going to become too big for you and you've just got to adopt it out to someone else, you've still got a plan for the future.
So does that mean it's like an unadvisable thing that people doing it for the novelty of it and not really
that's my
doing
theory.
It responsibly?
I would say if you're doing it just for the novelty, then you've got it for the wrong reason. And yeah, you should be potentially, if you're going to keep a stingray or any kind of ray in a small tank, you need to be prepared in the future to move to bigger tanks as they grow.
And how does it work in terms of breeding and then acquiring the babies to grow out? Like where
No, no idea.
I'm guiding the conversation in an undesirable direction.
Well,
I'm just
it's
interested.
it's garnering questions, and it's interesting to if we get other people's opinions on that sort of stuff. Yeah, they're the ones, Cody son, the Harlequin shrimp. They're the ones that people rent out or loan out to people to clear out their pest starfish. And Chewy, yeah, those parrots. We had a when I was born, we already had a sulfur-crested cockatoo as a pet, and we rehomed it maybe 15 years ago now, maybe 20 years ago, and it still lives out in the hills with the family that we rehomed it to. He's got to be 50 or 60 years old nowadays, and he's probably still got another 20 or 30 years in him. Those sulfur-crested cockatoos go a long time.
You got to be prepared to give them good quality of life.
Yeah, well,
Because
he
lots
didn't.
of people keep them in
That's the main reason we got rid of him, because he was chained. He had a chain around his foot, and he was in a cage. He would live in the garage, and then every morning we would take him out the back into the paddock, and he would spend his days outside hanging around in a tree, and then we'd bring him in overnight. And that's no way for an intelligent creature to live. So yeah, he got rehomed, and the people that he went to, as far as I know, he was freed of his chain and lived a much more enjoyable existence. But when we, I mean, I wasn't even born when he was first. He was in our family for 10 years before I was born, I believe, and people just didn't have the they didn't have the knowledge of being nice to animals that we do now. People didn't have the knowledge of being nice to anything 40 years ago, 50 years ago. It was do what you want. But now we're a little bit more sensible as a race, as a species of animal. A few hundred years. Koi can live a few hundred years. Holy dooly.
Can they really?
I would.
That's an incredibly long amount of time.
That is a very long time. I would like to see the oldest koi. And do their whiskers get grey when they're old? Maybe. So is anyone? Oh, so Prawnalot is back. Still on your lemonade, Sir Prawnalot, or have you got a VB now? No, hang on. You're South Australian, aren't you? What's in South Australia? I don't know. Emu. You got an emu lager? Wait, hang on. You're not even 18 yet, are you, Sir Prawnalot? I suppose that doesn't. Cooper. Oh, yeah, of course. Cooper's. Cooper's is the beer down there.
So classy in South Australia.
All very classy in South Australia.
Mini Cooper's hat.
Tiny. You are 18, right? Sorry about that then. That was very presumptuous of me. Well, it's hard to adjust from a sweet drink to a not a sweet drink. If you go from a premixy vodka-y thing to a beer. Yeah, 18 is the age down here, Ty. Drinking, voting. What are the other ones? What are the other ones you can do at 18? Smoking. Smoking your cigarettes. Crikey, now it looks shocking. Oh, yeah, I hear what you're saying, Rob. I've crows are potentially one of my favourite birds because of their intelligence and those videos where they have to complex puzzle solve to get some food, and they just go through it piece by piece and they get there. Those things' brains are awesome. They can count, they can think, they can plan, they can strategize. Outstanding animals.
Make tools.
That's exactly right. That's what Rob says about them manufacturing tools. Very, very impressive. And the noises they make when they wake you up in the morning going, fuck, fuck. Some people hate it, but I love it. I love their noises.
Such an appropriate morning sound.
It is. It is very appropriate in the morning. And what about voting age, Ty? Is it 21 for voting, or do you vote at 18 in the States? Yes, Chewy, very smart as well. We get a couple of different species of owls around here and multiple different eagles, hawks, and falcons. So yes, voting at 18, drinking and smoking. It's an owl. It's a raptor as well.
But it's not an owl.
Aren't they? Well, let's Google it. Who's on the Google? Rob Bull. Rob Bull probably knows already. Tawny frogmouth, Rob. What are they categorized as? Are they an owl or are they in their own little family? Because if you already know, then I'm not going to Google it, and we can talk about tawny frogmouths.
They make wonderful sounds.
If no one's familiar with the bird that I'm talking about, the tawny frogmouth, it's I'm sure it's related to owls, and it's in a family of owls, and they. Rob Bull thinks they're related to kookaburras and kingfishers.
Yeah, that sounds more likely.
I mean, they certainly do look like it, apart from their
I'm pretty sure
curved beak.
They're not owls.
Right. Yeah, right. But yeah, they're beautiful birds, extremely well camouflaged. They will sit very still in a tree, and you could walk past them and not see them at all.
You'd only know by the whooshing sound.
Yeah, when they take off.
No, they make like a whoosh.
Like with their voice.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I just thought it was them whooshing with their feathers.
No, they make these amazing sounds.
So many birds here, Candy. Birds for days. I have the last couple of weeks, I've had some red-backed wrens, I think they're called. Tiny little bird. The males are jet black with bright orangey red on their back, and the flock that we've got that have been nesting out in the veggie patch in the paddock are there's 2 dominant males and about 9 or 10 females, or the harem, I think they are officially called with wrens. It's been very cool to see them back, because it's been quite a while since those redback wrens have been breeding here. Yeah, birding is very good. My younger son and myself, we used to do a fair bit of it. He became an avid bird photographer for a while, but he kind of lost interest in the bird watching and became more interested in music production. So he's been doing a bit of that. There was, what was the might have been my first DIY filter video where I did the bathtub filtration system, and I think in my little intro bit it started with the noises of currawongs, I think, in the background. Those things are really cool too. If you don't know currawongs, check them out. They're in your crow and raven family, so also very intelligent. The worst thing about currawongs, though, is they're baby murderers. They like to raid. Thank you. They like to raid the nests of other birds and kill their babies. We've had them. Had a, what were they? Thornbills, I think, nesting in the old man's beard. Rob Bull says, not owls, but related to owls. Grew up with them in our backyard. Parents live in a nature reserve, 5 meters drive. That's pretty close to the city. I'm sure you mean minutes, though. Yeah, I had
Where does Rob Bull live?
Melbourne.
Okay, Aussie.
Yeah, Rob Bull's Aussie. You're northwestern Melbourne, aren't you, Rob? I believe. Yeah, there's like Pam saying about crows recognizing faces. Yeah, I was getting Chewy brings up magpies, as I was about to mention. Magpies are vicious also to humans. I'm not sure if we've got the same magpies in Australia as compared to up there. But magpies, when they're nesting, will swoop and attack humans that come near to them. But if they know people who might feed them or not be nasty to them, they know these people and they won't swoop them if they go near their nesting. Bendigo. Rob Bull's in Bendigo. Okay. That's, I suppose, directly north of Melbourne, isn't it? I think. My Victorian geography's not tops. So yeah, they reckon that magpies have a memory of 50 to 100 faces, and they can remember that many people. And yeah, like someone said just up above, that they can teach their younger generations the faces to like and the faces to hate. Yeah, it was Rob. Yeah, Rob's got all the knowledge. 226 years old. Going back on the topic of super old koi, the longest living freshwater fish ever recorded, koi hanako, was a beautiful scarlet colored female nishikakoi in Japan. 226 years old. Crikey. That's phenomenal. I thought tortoises were amazing getting to those sort of ages. But a fish, absolutely wild. Cheers. What have we been going? An hour and 20 minutes nearly. How's everyone going? Everyone hanging in there? Yeah, they go fine in the summer. Just make sure they got shade, so prawn a lot. And if you're going to go into the ground to build a koi pond down here, you make sure that you have a very, very deep section in your pond, because the deeper section will remain cooler than the rest of your pond, so that if they do get too hot, they can roll down to a deeper section and not be so uncomfortable. And obviously, in the heights of your summer, you get your handy dandy temperature gun and you check your water temperature. Oh, I can't even push the drawer shut now. Check your water temperature on a daily basis if you know you're getting a lot of heat, and if worse comes to worse and you can't get cold water out of the tap, you chuck some ice chunks in. Go and get a bag of ice from Woolies and chuck it in, and that'll drop your temperature a little bit. But essentially, they will survive. They're not, are they called it? No, they're not called a temperate water fish. They are cold water, I guess. But they will survive up to good. I don't believe they're illegal. I mean, I know in Australian waterways, if you catch koi or carp, you are obligated to kill them and bury them. You're not allowed to release them back into the water. But I don't think they have been outlawed. They may be on the grey list, as a few other fish that I like are. Could be worth investigating the grey list of banned fish species. The grey list is species that are being researched and investigated as to whether they should be banned or not. There's a black list, which is your banned fish. Then you've got the grey list of fish which they don't want in. But yeah, you're right, Rob. Being the all of Australia's quarantine stuff is state by state legislation, so potentially some states may have already banned koi. I'm fairly certain that it is nationwide, that if you catch koi, definitely carp, any kind of carp, you are to eliminate that fish and bury it. Apparently you can't even take it home. You've got to bury it, is what the legislation says. Welcome back, Big D. I've definitely seen koi for sale in fish shops here in New South Wales and also in Queensland. So potentially that law hasn't hit us here, but being that they are a cold water fish, I would imagine that it would be more in effect in Victoria, Tasmania, potentially South Australia as well, where temperatures do get a wee bit lower than up here. So yeah, I did what's his name, Robbie Fishing, an Australian fishing YouTube channel. He was having a bit of a fish in a creek on one of his recent videos and caught a carp, and he had to kill it, especially when the police turned up just as he reeled it in. So yeah, the carp law is nationwide. The koi, I'm fairly certain if you catch them, you kill them, but I'm pretty sure you can still buy them in a large, probably all states. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see if you can get them in Victoria or South Aussie. Worth a research. Snakeheads tie. Snakeheads are also banned in Australia. They are definitely on the blacklist. Yeah, I think the burying thing is just in case like people might rip their heads off and chuck them back into the water, and it might be a female that has a big ton of eggs inside. Maybe they can still spit eggs, or if as they decompose, the eggs might still be viable and come out. So who knows? That's just what I've read, is that you're supposed to bury them, just like tilapia, the Egyptian mouth brooders, all these other fish that are prolific breeders. You're supposed to bury them when you've killed them. I agree, Rob. Circle of life, but we also can't take risks. We've got to be 100% certain, isn't it? Yes, I would think so too. They probably would rot. They would rot eventually, and like most red tape, you know, they've got to be thorough. They've got to be thoroughly thorough and over the top and excessive with rules and regulations for the sake of people being happy at the end of the day. Not mine. So if anyone's seen my oh, here we go. Fisheries South Australia. Spokeswoman said individuals caught keeping koi faced fines up to $120,000, while Bodies Corporate could be slugged with up to $250,000. Wow. So definitely no koi in South Australia then. CSC23. I hope we didn't bore your tits off too hard. Thanks for stopping in, as always, Graham. Great to see you in my joint. Yeah, that's pretty full on about the koi then down there. I suppose, like I said, with the temperatures down there getting a bit lower than up here, potentially. Oh, I'm bleeding. Koi are only legal in 2 states, spelling error: New South Wales and Western Australia. We can breed and keep them here in New South Wales, but cannot sell to local fish stores or the public. How bizarre. Even Queensland. You'd imagine that they'd be legal in Queensland with the much hotter temperatures up there. I got a bleeder. That's what you get if you steal cars. You get found out for all the other shit you've got in your house. I say, well, I know, yeah, right. Well, I was going to say Rumball, Jace's mate, Perth Cichlids' mate from Western Australia. He's got a massive koi pond in his backyard, but he's Western Australia, so it's legal for him to have a huge, huge pond. Interesting. I don't see why not. You know, all these other regulations on other animals that have to be microchipped and all that. Why not fish get microchipped and stuff as well, and registered and all of that? If there's a potential that they may cause issues in the future, it's probably best to be thorough, cover all your bases and whatnot. Best to be safe than infested. Crikey. I started talking about my rivulatus before, didn't I?
Did you?
Is everyone familiar with my massive, big rivulatus? He's been living in his fish tank on his own for quite some time. He's now got himself a tank mate. I wonder if I can. This could be interesting if this will actually work. I might have a crack. This could get very boring. You might have to do mine too, love. Okay, no, this way. Talk amongst yourselves while I fiddle. I'll be doing this kind of bizzo. Wanted to try. If I send this to myself, I wonder, can I receive it from myself? And then play it on screen. It'd be interesting to see if it could work. It exceeds 25 megabytes. Oh my god, it's huge. All right, let's dump that one and try this one. Sorry about that. You can drive your car 3 hours north of me, Sir Prawnalot. You can go to the North Pine Dam on the north side of Brisbane. Well, it's outside of Brisbane. It's well outside of suburbia. And there is lungfish for days in that dam. People catch so many of them in there, it's ridiculous. And they want $3,000 for them. Oh, wait, where's the... What the... I think I lost my attachment. I won't worry about trying to show you my rivulatus's new tank mate. I'll just do a video on it. That'll be easier. Yes, a prawn, a lot. Lungfish for days just up the road. Australian lungfish too, not those African ones that everyone bangs on about. And yeah, I agree though. I have seen them for sale for ridiculous prices, which seems even sillier from where I am, since they're just down the road a wee bit. So 16 people are still here. Well, I was going to say enjoying the show, but I'll say enduring the show. Oh yeah, they go for a lot of money, Chewy. They go for a heck of a lot of money. And people obviously spend the money to get them because they still go for a lot of money. So there's obviously people out there buying them. When I used to live in Brisbane, there was a fish store up at the north end of Brisbane. Had a massive big display tank, and they had a couple of Australian lungfish in it. Oh, that'd be interesting to Google up too, Sir Prawn. I don't know if they are actually endangered or threatened, but it would be interested to know. Amber Bezodi in the house. How are you, Amber? Do we have an update?
Dr. Gray's just rang. The surgery went very well.
Good.
And he's on his way back to recovery.
Okay.
Which is good.
Righto. Good news. My dad's out of surgery. Surgery went well. He's on his way back to recovery. Just so everyone knows as well now. I've been very well, thanks, Amber. Nothing to complain about, really. Complaining's a waste of time anyway. No one listens. Thank you. Thank you. It is good news. Recovery will be key. He better behave himself. Get through his recovery proper. And then we can go from there. Oh, this. Oh no, my YouTube's doing that thing where it's like. Apparently, I've got 278 likes so far, according to my YouTube, but it's like one of those really splooged in numbers, so I can't really tell what it is. How many likes have I got? Can someone tell me, please? If you got that far, Sir Prawnalot, surely you could if on the same page that gave you a scientific name, does it give you a status? 23, eh? Maybe if we get to 25 likes, we could do a song or something like that. But everyone here's probably already clicked the like button, haven't they? How do I refresh that though? I'll close that, reopen that. Whoops, sorry. Sandra Bennett is back. You know, it still looks stupid. I have no idea what it's doing. We're actually, Chewy, we're actually thinking about doing an Australian song today. I think we did one last week. And we thought, it's an Australian stream. Maybe we should do Australian songs. If we do songs, we don't really have to do songs if no one wants to hear a song. Because, you know, songs can be pretty overrated. Well, that was on the list, Jace. Jace from Perth Cichlids wants to know if we were going to do the locomotion. Now, we discussed doing the locomotion, Jace, but unfortunately, it wasn't originally an Australian song. It was an American song that Kylie Minogue covered in the mid-80s. So yeah, we had to scrap locomotion from our list of songs because it wasn't an Australian song. So sorry, Jace. As much as I love Kylie, we will do at least one Kylie song in the future because there is one that I like to play that Scungy kind of hates, which is pretty good motivation to do it.
Go along with it. I just won't sing that one line.
Angel City. Never heard of Angel City, Chewy. Who's Angel City? Are they Australian? It would be remiss of me to have not heard of Angel City if they're Australian. Coelacanths are very cool, Rob Bull. I believe they're one of the oldest free-swimming fish in the fossil record, are they not? in one of the David Attenborough shows, they had some really nicely computer animated coelacanths. Oh, is that rust, Sir Prawnalot? I'm pretty sure rust has got coelacanths in it. Yeah, they are. Well, I actually imagine that if it's based on Latin, it probably is pronounced coelacanth or coelacanth, because I think most C's in Latin are pronounced as hard C's. Like people say bucephalandra, but apparently
It's the original one.
It's bucephalandra. There. Ark, that's what I meant. Ark's the one with dinosaurs. Rust doesn't have dinosaurs in it. It's Ark. Oh, angels. Yeah, I know the angels. I thought you said something different. Angel City. Or was that just a typo, Chewy? Angel City. You were going to say any angel's song, maybe. Yes, we know the angels. We all know the angels. Am I ever gonna see your face again? No way, get Nick off. Or something like that. Oh, starting. How very interesting. Did you know the Angels are known as Angel City in the US and Canada? I'm assuming that would be, yeah, the Angels were weren't they like a Motown or a old doo-wop group or something? Like they were around at the same time as the Supremes or something? They do their what's that churchy music called? Oh crikey, drawing a blank. Yeah. They were a girl, not soul. There's another music word for the music that came out of like church singing and stuff. Angel City is known as the other AC/DC band. Yeah. They sort of, I think their popularity in Australia definitely rode off the back of gospel. That's the word I was after. Thanks, Ty. Gospel. Yeah, they were as far as I know, the Angels, the American Angels, were a girl gospel kind of group, from what I can remember. But yeah, I think the Angels definitely their popularity rose on the back of the popularity of AC/DC, similar sort of sounds, and just that raw Australian rock and roll. Lol, Rob. Cog's a little bit too complicated for us. Where are we? An hour 44. I swear I was only an hour 20 last time I looked at the clock. I want you to play the guitar about 30 seconds into that song. Which song, Monica? Oh, sorry, I missed the chat. Collective Soul. They did that song, Bam, Bam, something like that. Back in a sec. Breaking the seal again.
Again.
It's a very firm seal. See those little semi-aquatic plants you've got in your flowering out in the top?
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh, I love those ones.
The flowers aren't that exciting, but flowering nevertheless.
It's nice that they're living.
And the wallabies stopped eating them. We need those instructional manuals.
Those ones?
Yes, Jace. Yes, I am. Yeah, Where the River Flows. That was the Collective Soul song I was thinking of. Pardon me. Can you work out? There's two different printouts there. Can you work out which one? Whoops. Which one works best? Well, you know, Dan, that's a bit harsh. Volume is highly subjective, and if you put up the you know, the amount of fluids that have gone in, it's got to come out sooner or later.
It just only, as far as I can see, depends on your visuals because they're the same. Just that one has a bit more spacing around it.
Yeah, well, I think that was the one that I cancelled the print job, but it's still printed out because it was over 3 pages.
But it's exactly the same. It's just that this one is more spacious and this one's slightly more cramped.
Yeah, because that one told me it was going to be 3 pages, and the 3rd page was just blank. So
It's
I just
not. The only thing after
erased
that,
a few lines.
that goes back to.
I may have to tune that guitar properly. Righto, Sir Prawnalot, thanks for stopping in, man. Always appreciate your visits. I will see you next time. You'd think we'd do this before the show, wouldn't it? Let's have a G.
I may have tuned mine too quietly. This will be correct.
Excuse me. No. I put that down as an accident, I guess. Right. So, going to put the ball in your court, people. You can have a Silverchair song or a Divinal song. Vote now. We're trying at the moment, Rob. We're going to stick with Australian songs. Today is all about Australian songs, but maybe in the future we might have a go at some Prince or even Sinead.
Oh.
He wants Nothing Compares to You.
Oh, okay. So Prince would be an interesting place to go.
Would be Silverchair or Divinals. Candy says both. Well, Perth Cichlid says
lucky.
both. So you're going to be lucky if you get both out of us. I think we've already. Is Pam? Is Pam still in the house? Are you streaming tonight, Pam? Have I already cut into your time? Ty says Silverchair. Chewy's still banging on about the Angels. We may have to work out some Angels for the future for Chewy's sake. Dan says both. Crikey. We may have to play 2 songs today. Ah, right. That's right. Right. Okay. I don't have an excuse. Thanks for the out. Skull my drink. Oh, Jace. Jace, don't make me do it. Oh my God, the sweats. I've got the sweats. Righto, I won't feel so guilty. Well, as a matter of fact, Chewy, if you're mentioning AC/DC, I mean, I think it was last week we got a couple of requests for AC/DC. We may have some AC/DC. We may have some AC/DC coming in the future. I think our first song may have just been decided.
On the spacious one?
Sure. Don't know where I'm going to put it though.
Yeah.
I mean, it is handy that it's
It's handy that there's 2.
Well, it's handy that it's really narrowly printed. Pardon me. Just kidding, Ty. I'm not playing Black in Black. That would just be too much irony. Oh, I've got it round the wrong way. How did I do this? And I think I'm out of tune still. That'll do. Yes, thank you, Chewy. We've established that as fact, and I mean, it would have been nice to have a reason to call it quits at an hour and a half in, but now I guess you get me for 2 hours and a bit instead. We'll see how we go. Anyway, this song is by the Divinals, Australian band. Lead singer Chrissy Amphlett, may she rest in peace, died a few years ago. So this one goes out to Chrissy Amphlett and Rob Bull, as it were.
Give me a chance. I'm not
Yeah,
so
I got
good
to
today.
remember how it goes.
That was a lot faster than we were doing it before. Just by the way.
Fair enough. That was I Touch Myself by the Divinals. And yes, that is about individual friskiness, I guess. Being made feel horny by someone else. We've all been there. We've all tried it. It's what happens with love and lust. They said both. They want both.
That's too fast. No, we can do both. We can try. Let's try. I'd happily do all three. So
Shh, don't spoil it for everyone. That was going to be a secret.
we do like a secret last one. That one.
Potentially. Do we have to? I should have printed 2 copies, shouldn't I?
Should have. If you like, I will try and.
I'll just shuffle over this way a bit. Maybe do this a bit. Get a bit of scungy elbow into the shot. A little bit of elbow for the peeps at home. I think I really do need a haircut,
You
crikey.
really do, darling.
How does it go again?
I don't really know what to do. Try not to push it because the last one's
Hello, Anthony's fishy friends. You possibly did come at the right time, but could be the wrong time too. Entirely subjective or objective? No, subjective. Let's go with subjective.
It's 12 o'clock and it's so warm, tough day. I know you hate me, but I'll ask anyway. Won't you come with me to a place in a little town? The only way to get there is to go straight down. There is no bathroom and there is no sink. The water out of the tap is very hard to drink. Very hard to drink. Wait till tomorrow. Wait till tomorrow. You say that money isn't everything, but I'd like to see you live without it. You think you can keep on going, living like a king. Oh, baby, I strongly doubt it. Very hard to drink. Very hard to drink. You gonna wait till 5-1.
My bad. Hang on. I'll try that again.
Gonna wait till 5-1.
boy, wait till tomorrow. Gonna wait till fat boy, wait until tomorrow. Oh.
Should have practiced that because that bit doesn't go the same as that bit.
Yeah, yeah, I know. We should have practiced that one a bit better. Hello, Alice.
I don't know this song.
You made it, Alice. You didn't sleep in. We didn't. We fit the time schedule properly for Alice. It's nice to see you here anyway. Who's screaming? I think we were both screaming a little bit. Hang on. Did I miss any comments? I wasn't reading any comments while I was playing. I can't do 2 or 3 things at once.
That means we got to make sure there's like something else good to happen.
I suppose.
That was terrible. Terrible stuff.
Sorry about that rendition of Silverchair. We've practiced that one twice through the week, and clearly we need to do a little bit more practice on that one. Perhaps we can make it up to everyone with a third song, maybe. If anyone would like to hear a third song. It'll be third and out, though, if we do a third one. Can I go there as well, please? Pardon me, please. Anyone want a third song, or should we just call it quits there? Quit while we're slightly behind. Oh, yes, please. I don't know if... Ooh. Yeah, we've got a few people that want number 3. What do we got? 17 people in here at the moment. I think I'm going to need to see like at least 8 people want another song before I can commit to playing another song. I've got to feel needed and wanted. Or something like that. People have stopped typing, though.
No little wonder.
Why would you waste beer like that, Rob? What we got? 5? Is that 6? Yes, please is for a third. 5. Dan's counting better than I am, obviously. Oh, we need 2 more people to say, do another song. Come on. Come on. What'll it take, people?
Potentially have practiced this also more before doing
it. Always look thirsty, Rob. All right. Potentially no one will know this song. I don't know if it's that well known for Americans and the rest of you people around the world. I think we're all just Americans and Australians in here now. No, I don't have an amp hooked up, Monaco. This is purely acoustic and this little microphone here. Australia, Alice? I'm in Australia. Oh, yeah, he struggled with anorexia for a long time, Rob. That's what that song was about. Please, Diana, for as long as you're here, I'm not. Thanks for stopping by, Ty. Shame you got to sleep. Bloody humans in their sleep, I tell ya. Traveling, hippie train, head full of zombies. She made me nervous. She gave me breakfast. Did we potentially play this with a capo?
Potentially.
Do you come from a land down under?
Buying bread from a man in Brussels. He was 6'4" and full of muscles. I said, do you speak my language? Oh, he just smiled and gave me a Vegemite sandwich. And he said, you come from a land down under. With bitter snow and manchanda. Can't you hear that thunder? Oh yeah, you better run, you better take cover.
One more.
Lying in a jet in Bombay.
Slack jaw, not much to say.
I said to the man, are you trying
To tempt me,
because I come from the land of plenty. And he said, do you come from the land down under? Women blow and men plunder.
can't you hear the thunder?
Oh yeah, you
Better run, you better take cover. You come from a land down under, where women glow and men plunder. Can't you hear the thunder?
Oh yeah, you
Better run, you better take cover. Thank you very much. Sketchy as.
so fucking terrible.
I'd like to whoops, Aquarium Rocks banging my guitar. I'd like to just say that all three of those songs we only just pulled out the other day, and I've probably only played them each 2 or 3 times. So, you know, we might do them again in the future and possibly be better at them. Who can tell? Who can tell? All we can do is try. But in saying that, we do like to finish on the songs. So we might pull up stumps there. Pull up stumps means finish, end to your American mob. It's an Australian term. Oh, it's not only Australian. I suppose it's a cricket playing nation term. Thank you, Dan. Appreciate everyone who enjoyed that. I mean, we're not pros. We're just piss farting around, doing it for ourselves. But I'd like to take this opportunity to thank everyone for stopping by, joining us again on this regular beverage inducing stream. What else can I say? Thanks to Scungy for being here, obviously. Always good to have a better backup, especially someone who can sing when I can't really sing at all. What else? Just thanks. Big thanks to people. Don't forget to check out. I know Aussie Man. Me and Aussie Man drink beers every week. Me and him are good mates. Yeah, we go way back. Actually, he's Aussie Man is actually Jace from Perth Cichlids. He's Aussie Man is Jace's butchers, brothers, uncles, nephews, bakers, sisters, cousin twice removed. I think it goes like that, something like that anyway. So if you want to know anything about Aussie Man, just speak to Jace at Perth Cichlids. Go and sub over to Perth Cichlids. Check out Rob Bull's videos. I mean, there's one at the moment, but I'm sure Rob will be chucking up new videos every second Thursday at least. Thanks, Candy. Thanks for the wishes. Thank you. Candy says, thank you, Sarah. Sarah says, you're welcome, Candy. She didn't really. I'm just putting words in her mouth. Thank you, Monica. Derek says, awesome, Scungy. Ty, I'm so glad you didn't just sneak off to bed. It was good that you hung around enough to be able to hear it, even if it damaged your ear holes. Who else? Thanks, Chewy. Always good to have you in, and your intelligence and your knowledge. Rob Bull, you and Chewy probably get on like a house on fire. You're both full of intelligence and knowledge. Monica Lynn, I hoped you liked your jewelry on screen. Alice, it was good to see you finally pop into a live instead of just being in the comments later on. Very good to have you along. Anthony's Fishy Friends, it's good to see you in, Anthony, even though you arrived a little bit late. Appreciated having you on board. Ty, if you can still hear me, good night, sleep well, Prince. Sleep well, sweet Prince, I think I was meaning to say. Cody-san, everyone else who might have been here earlier that's not here now, thanks heaps for stopping by. Appreciate you being here, like I was here and she was here. We were all here together. Alrighty, I'm going to call it. We'll call it at 2 hours. Oh, nearly 2 hours. Oh, hang on. If I'm... No, I'm not going to be a douche just to hang around and get another 2 hour 23 stream. I'm going to call it before we get there. Pam, I forgot to thank you, Pam. Always awesome to have you in the house, love. I will try and jump on to your stream tomorrow night. See ya. Thanks, everyone. Much love from down under. We'll see you. Before I go, good thinking. This Saturday night, your time, Sunday, my time, Saturday night, your time, on Aquamate's channel. Don't forget, Dr. Thirsty Mate, where you'll see Aquamate, Thirsty Rabbit, and this guy. On Aquamate's live stream, Dr. Thirsty Mate. We might have some interesting news to talk about. We might not. Who can tell? We're a strange stream. But yeah, we'll possibly be talking about some stuff, and put that one in your diaries. Mark it for a must watch. Interesting things coming on the Dr. Thirsty Mate. All right, thanks again, everyone. Take it easy. See you Saturday night or next Tuesday night. Whoops.